Hi guys, this is Sandeep with Fonearena and this is the review of the LG G4, the company's flagship smartphone. This is the first time the company is launching a dual SIM version of its flagship smartphone in India. Even though it features a 5.5-inch Quad HD screen similar to the G3, other things have been improved. Is the G4 a worthy successor? Is this one of the best flagship smartphones in the market currently? Let us find out in the complete review. The LG G4 has a 5.5-inch display with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels and a pixel density of 538 ppi. Even though the display size and resolution are the same as the LG G3, this has a 120% color gamut compared to the 100% gamut in the G3 and offers richer and more accurate colors. LG is calling it an IPS quantum RGB technology. It stands out when it comes to color reproduction. Viewing angles and the sunlight legibility are good too, and the display is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3. The LG G4 has a screen to body ratio of 72.46% compared to 75.22% on the G3. It is 148.9 mm tall and 76.1 mm wide compared to G3, which is 146.3 mm tall and 74.6 mm wide, even though the display size remains the same. Since the smartphone is wider, it makes one-handed usage a bit hard. The 8 megapixel front facing camera with a maximum aperture of f2.0 is good for selfies and video chats. It is a huge improvement when compared to the 2.1 megapixel front facing camera on the LG G3. It can also record videos at 1080p resolution. It doesn't have a flash on the front, but the screen brightens up around the borders of the photo preview window and acts as a soft selfie light. It has a small notification light that lights up in blue, green or red depending on the type of notification. It also has the usual set of proximity and ambient light sensors here. It has on-screen buttons and the LG logo is present on the bezel below the display similar to earlier G series smartphones. Since there is an additional SIM switch button, you can easily switch between the SIMs. These set of buttons can be rearranged. We will discuss more about this in the software part. It has a slightly ergonomically shaped curved body that comfortably fits in your hand. It doesn't have any buttons on the sides and the smartphone is 8.9 mm thick, similar to the G2 and the G3. On top there's a secondary microphone and an IR blaster as well. At the bottom there's a 3.5 mm audio jack, primary microphone and the micro USB slot. The 16 megapixel camera is present on the back with f1.8 aperture, 1 by 2.6 inch sensor, 1.29 micron pixels, laser autofocus, color spectrum sensor for more accurate color output and better white balance, a 3-axis optical image stabilization and an LED flash. It also has a chrome ring around it. The camera module is protected by sapphire crystal glass to prevent it from getting scratched. It has a manual mode that lets you adjust focus, white balance, ISO and shutter speed manually. It also has the ability to record images in RAW. The panorama mode can capture photos up to 104 megapixel resolution. Images are good in all aspects and have excellent details and color reproduction. Macro shots were good, offering nice bokeh thanks to the f1.8 aperture and the laser autofocus that uses laser to guide the autofocus system to focus the exact part of the object when you touch it. HDR shots were good too, and it has an auto HDR mode that lets the LG G4 do the work for you by capturing HDR images automatically. Low light shots came out good too, but the noise is high in some cases where there is minimal lighting. The flash is also decent, offering decent detail in flash exposures. You can take advantage of the low light raw shots since the processed images are better. It can record 4K 3840 by 2160 pixels and 1080p videos at 30 fps and HD videos in slow motion at 120 fps. The video quality is good and the audio is crisp, but it has a weird jello effect when panning. You can play the recorded slow motion video in 1:2, 1:4 or 1:8 times, but it works only on the phone. The smartphone's build quality is solid, and even though the design is not as attractive compared to the S6 Edge or S6 glass back, it still looks pretty good. The leather back definitely looks premium compared to the ceramic white and the metallic grey covers that are just made of plastic. These plastic back covers have diamond-like patterns that are visible when the light reflects at a certain angle. LG currently sells brown, black and red variants with a leather finish in India apart from these plastic variants. The leather and plastic back cover gets scratched easily when you place it on a rough surface since the back comes in contact with the surface first. It is recommended to get a case if you want to avoid scratches. Removing the back reveals two micro SIM slots and a micro SD card slot. It has a 3000 mAh removable battery as well. Coming to the software, the LG G4 runs on Android 5.1 Lollipop with LG UX 4.2 on top. The UX seems overdone and doesn't look impressive compared to the stock UI. It supports up to 8 home screens and folders. The home screen has an additional smart bulletin option that shows customized info such as stats from LG Health, calendar, smart settings and more. The notification bar has a row of shortcuts on the top that can be rearranged or removed. It also has the option to select either SIM cards as default, a row of Q slide apps, brightness and volume sliders. The Smart Notice offers personalized notifications for weather, travel, calendar appointments, and more by analyzing a user's daily routine and travel schedule. Q slide apps are tiny apps that run on top of the screen. These include a video player, browser, calendar, memo, and a calculator. You can adjust the opacity of a Q-Slide app and also expand it to full screen, but you can only run two apps at a time. Dual window lets you run two apps on a screen. The multitasking menu also has the screen pinning option. Android Lollipop's interruptions feature has a priority only mode that lets you set do not disturb times so that only the most important apps and people can get in touch with you. This also has a new downtime feature that lets you set no interruptions time during a period on particular days. The button combination lets you switch the position of the touch buttons on the home screen. It supports 5 buttons that includes dual window, notification, quick memo plus and Q slide in addition to the usual set of back, home, recent or multitasking buttons. Out of 3 GB of RAM you get 2.83 GB of usable RAM, out of which about 1.5 GB of RAM is free when only the default apps are running in the background. More RAM usage is mainly due to the high resolution display. Out of 32 GB of internal storage, 21.8 GB of storage is usable. You can also move compatible apps to the SD card when you insert one. It also has support for USB OTG. Apart from the usual set of Google apps, it has LG Backup, LG Health, Quick Remote, Quick Memo Plus. The LG Health app uses a smartphone sensors to detect your steps and activities such as walking or running, but the results are not accurate though. Since the phone has Naya Blaster, you can use Quick Remote app to use the phone as a remote control for home appliances such as TV, set-top box, AC, projector, and more. The Quick Memo Plus lets you capture any type of content such as web pages, graphical images, photos, and videos instantly and jot notes on the screen. You can also launch the Quick Memo Plus by pressing the volume up key twice when the screen is off. The music player supports a range of audio formats. You can use the equalizer when you plug in the headset, and there are different equalizer modes. The 1-watt loudspeaker is loud enough even in a noisy environment, and the Quad B3 headphones offer good output and have better build quality compared to the Quad B2 headset. Even though the speaker is located on the bottom of the phone, audio doesn't get muffled when placing it on a flat surface since the back is slightly raised. The FM radio has an auto-tune mode and recording feature. It also has auto music recording feature to record only the music, but is not perfect. Since the phone has dual SIM support with a dedicated on-screen button, you can just press the button to switch to either SIMs to make a call or send a text message from a particular SIM. We did not face any call drops and the call quality is good too. Even though it has dual SIM support, only the first SIM supports 4G while the other SIM remains in 2G. The second SIM has 3G support, but the first SIM needs to be set to 2G if you want to enable 3G in the second SIM. It also has the usual set of connectivity features including NFC and Slim port with support up to 4K. The phone is powered by a hexa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 MSM 8992 64-bit processor with two bigger ARM Cortex-A57 cores clocked in at 1.88 GHz per core and four smaller ARM Cortex-A53 cores clocked at 1.44 GHz per core. The performance is smooth without any lag, and there are no heating issues that were present in the Snapdragon 810 SoC. Of course, it gets a bit warm when using 4G in hot outdoor conditions, which is common in most smartphones, but it doesn't get too hot. The 600 MHz Adreno 418 GPU offers smooth gaming performance and good graphics. The Adreno 430 GPU definitely has an edge compared to the Adreno 418 GPU when it comes to graphics in some high-end games, but this is good too. It also supports Bluetooth and wired gaming controllers. Coming to the battery life, the 3000 mAh battery offers average battery life and it doesn't last an entire day. With 4G or 3G data used for most of the day, few calls, couple of hours of music playback and some video playback, the battery drains out completely by the evening. LG has maintained the same 3000 mAh battery since the G2, which definitely is not enough to power the processor as well as the Quad HD screen. It has a removable battery which can be replaced with a spare battery when required. It also has a battery saver, game optimizer, and Qualcomm's Quick Charge 2.0 feature for faster charging. It achieved a one charge rating of 9 hours and 36 minutes in our battery test, mainly due to a brilliant talk time, but it's not the best. Overall, the LG G4 is a worthy successor to the G3. Even though the UX is not attractive and the smartphone doesn't have an eye-catching design, apart from the premium leather back, the display is just brilliant and the camera offers several features, including a manual mode that the competitors don't offer. This time LG decided to launch the smartphone only in 32GB variant, unlike the G3 that came in two variants. It comes with a dual SIM support in India, which is an added advantage as well. One thing the smartphone doesn't score well is the battery life, which is also one of the problems faced on the LG G3. The LG G4 is one of the best smartphones in the market if you're mainly looking for a combination of dual SIM support, expansion slot, and a removable battery that you rarely see on a flagship smartphone these days. Listed here are the pros and cons of the device. Do hit the like button if you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.